Gotta keep winning, gotta keep winning, gotta keep winning, winning.
What's up, YouTube? This is Calvin Bond from Bond Trucking. This video is going to be about the Copilot app. Here at JB Hunt, we got Copilot on our PeopleNet, but they have a preset profile, and you can't use your own personal profile. I've been using this app for my whole career. I've been driving truck for 3 years, and I've been using this app since day one. I salute to everybody that use atlases. I'm not gonna use one, but I salute to the ones that do, because man, atlas is a little too complicated for me. I know how to use it, but it seemed a little too complicated for me. I don't want to keep pulling over and then I gotta find the address. It's a little hard for me. So I salute to the ones that use it. This Copilot app, I'm gonna show y'all the settings and stuff about it, because if you don't have the right settings on the app, then it only go by the settings that you input. So under settings, the maps, location information, you want it on current road. Show POIs and on the map. Now that's up to you. I got mine set for when I stop, because I don't want all of those icons on my map while I'm driving. So I don't put it on there as always, but that's up to you. Now under the currently displayed POIs, you can set everything that you wanted to go through to show you on your map. Mine do it as I'm parked, and then it pops up once it feels that I'm at a stop point. I also use this when I'm on vacation in my car. I'll show you that later though. On the 2D auto zoom, I don't use that, but it zooms in and gives you a picture of how the turn looks. It's good, but the reason why I don't use it is because if I'm in somewhere like Dallas or Atlanta or Kansas City where you got 2 quick turns or something like that, the pictures it goes in front of the in front of the navigation, the map, so it kind of beats the purpose in certain areas. Now 2D map, I always use heads up on that. And show turn restrictions, I always want to know my turn restrictions, so you always want that on. Display map feedback, I like that one on. Clear turns display, I always cut on the clear turns display, but I keep the only show on major highways. I turn that off. I don't really like the realistic view of the picture, but I like the realistic view of the road sign that be at the top. So it'll show you the road sign, then it'll show you how many lanes that you can actually use to make that one turn. So I like that. I use that. On this right here, I wish that they had the 5 mile and you could push more than one, but the way they got it set up, you only can use one on the clear turn. On the clear turn, when turn is within a certain amount of miles. I wish they had the 5 mile instead of just the 2 mile, and you could click 2 of them, so you could click one for the 0.7 and the 5 mile. That'll give you plenty enough time, since you 70 feet long. That'll give you plenty of time to get over, to let another truck that's beside you pass, or you pass it. It gives you more time. But if you're always looking at the GPS, everything will work out for you on that. And I always do high clear turn when turn is within, I always do it at my turn. So once I'm inside of my turn, it changed to the next turn. Okay, my turn warnings. This right here, I wish they had the 5 mile on it, so then I could pick each one of these. And my turn now voice alert, I always like it to do within 100 yards. And my second turn display on the bottom right hand side, well, I got mine set up that mine is on the bottom left hand side. This GPS is fully customizable, so you can customize everything about the GPS to make it suit you. So you just go through the settings and play with the settings to suit you and the way that you drive. Excuse me. Now on the vehicle route, this is where you make your profile. And on my profile, I always do practical. I want the practical route. I don't want the shortcut routes because I really don't like US roads, street roads, city roads. I don't like stuff like that. So if I can go around the city because my destination is on the other side of the city, I'll go around the city, take a bypass around the city, and then come in from the other side to dodge all of the street lights and stuff like that. I feel like that doing city driving, it rises the risk of an accident because you're in tight roads. It's a lot of cars there. You're doing tight turns, and everybody's in a hurry. So I'll go around the city and come in the city from the opposite side of the city if the shipper or the receiver is closer to the opposite side of the city instead of going through the city. It do use a little more miles, more fuel, but it's a less risk, and safety's first. Enable active routes. I like that turned on. And enable active routes. What that do is it gives you a bar. I'll show you more because it's got another setting for it too. But it gives you a bar on the right hand side, and it tells you when you're coming into a slowdown. It'll be the bar, the area be on the bar in yellow. If you come into an area that's in a stop on the stop traffic, it'll be red. And if a road is closed, it'll turn black, meaning that this road been stopped for a certain amount of time, so it turned black. Truck dimensions, make sure you put the 52. If you got a hazmat route, you got to change that. Display road restrictions on map. I put show only restrictions for my profile. So if I don't have it on my profile, then don't show restrictions. The only restrictions I normally have is a length restriction, bridge restriction, and that's about it, since I'm just driving. Okay, display road restriction on maps. I showed you that one. Tolls. I pay a certain amount of money every week for tolls, for unlimited tolls. So I use tolls every chance I get because I gotta pay regardless if I take tolls or not. And tolls always quicker. So I use it, me personally, because I gotta pay anyway. Let's see. Avoid ferries. I don't use that. International borders. I really don't use that. I got it turned on, but I don't do international borders. Okay, governor speed. Now this is kind of weird. Okay, my truck goes 75. So instead of me putting 75, I want This gives the estimated time of arrival of a destination. You want the estimated time of arrival. You want to beat it. You want it to give you an estimated time, or estimated hours and minutes, but you want to beat that. So you don't want it to make you rush. So what I do is, my truck goes 75 miles an hour. I know sometimes I drive 67, depending on how I feel and if the load got to be there faster, if I gotta put a little speed behind me, I'll do 73. But if I don't and I'm relaxed, if I got plenty of time to drop the load, then I go 67. I really don't worry about it. So I normally put mine at 65, and the reason why I put it at 65 is because I think of slowdowns, I think of stop traffic, I think when I'm going in and out of a city, if I'm on a back road and I'm going in and out of small towns, that's 35, then 55, then 25, then I think about all that and I put it all together. So I use 65 because even though if I do 65 and I know my truck goes higher than 65, I will still make it before the time. So I use that and I make it lower than what my truck actually can be its governor at. An elevation route, I don't use that because I'm not on the West Coast. That's where they have the real elevating mountains at. Midwest. We don't have that over here. We got mountains, but we don't have them type of mountains. Unless you're going somewhere like Maine or something like that. Excuse me, I feel like I'm getting a cold. Okay, safety, warning, alerts and warnings. Show speed limits, I cut that on. And speed warnings, I cut that on. But on my speed warnings, I normally cut it on, but I don't want to be alerted. This bottom one right here, it says to alert, receive alerts. I don't want that. I played with it, but it gets annoying. It gets very annoying. And then you can show your POI alerts within a certain amount of miles. I normally don't use that. That's a personal preference. I don't use it. Okay, display road warnings. I cut that on, and because I want to have my heads up within 1,000 yards. That's the heads up that I was telling you about. The sign will pop up, like you'll see a sign that says Indiana and Chicago. The sign that you will see on the road will pop up at the top of the GPS, and then it'll give you how many lanes that this highway is, and how many lanes go to the left and how many lanes go to the exit on the right. Motion lock. I don't use motion lock because I got a mount, and I use my windshield mount, my tablet windshield mount for that. Miles and reports. I never use that. I was told that it was good. I'm not gonna lie to y'all and tell you that I use it, but I was told that it was good. So you have to play with that a little more on your own. Active traffic. That's what I was explaining a little earlier about that bar that's on the right hand side of the GPS. I always enable the traffic service and display the traffic bar, so it'll tell me, so I can look at the bar and it'll tell me when I'm getting close to a slowdown, a stop, or a closed road. Regional and voice. I normally keep mine on English. I really don't mess with that because they preset that and it works. Now, in style. Style is your preference. If you like your GPS to be light in the day or dark at night, or dark at night and light in the day, I like mine dark all the time. So I put mine on for dark on day and night. Sounds, I really don't mess with that. I don't want my sounds muted. You don't have to welcome me, or I don't like hearing noises when I'm touching a screen. So me personally don't use that, but that's up to y'all if y'all use it. Battery, data, and battery. On cellular data, I always use cellular data because my tablet that I use the GPS on is a LTE tablet, AT&T LTE, and by having that, you have to have some type of cellular data to use active traffic. And it's got Yeep search, your map downloads that was supposed to be on, system files, voices and themes that's supposed to be on too. And then I like my news updates and account settings. I like that, so I keeps that on. Now location info and GPS tracks, I don't do that. Battery usage, enable background voice instructions. I like that. The GPS power saving mode, after 5 minutes it's supposed to turn off, but I keep mine plugged up at all times. Notify before GPS power saving mode, that's when it goes into the background. I normally keeps that off because I never have mine unplugged. And then low power mode, I always use low power mode. I always keep that on. And it says use less power more below 30% battery, and don't use low power mode. I don't use these two, but I always use low battery power mode. The GPS, it just gives you the latitude and longitude. Sometimes when your GPS start acting funny, you go to this and it'll reset it. And then the reset and default, and then about Copilot. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the maps itself. This is how the map looked before you put anything. These are the IPOs that I was explaining. It tells you, like, if you touch an IPO, it'll tell you what it is, what's in it. Like it's got the cash restaurant. Sometimes it'll tell you it's got an ATM machine there. It'll tell you all kinds of different stuff. And then you can scroll up and down. On some of them, it'll tell you like what's around it, what's there. Tell you everything about it. If you go to the POIs, it'll tell you about each place that's around it. Okay, now right now I'm at a TA. Let me see. Yeah, at the travel center. It tells you what is scale. Tells you it's got a scale there, and the number of the scale. I'm in Effingham. Tell you the TA. It's got a Dunkin' Donuts in it. This one is good though. It's got a Dunkin' Donut. It's got a Popeyes and a Saboro. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you what exit I'm on, if I can find it. I'm on exit 160 in Effingham. This that spot, y'all. Okay, now I'm gonna go to addresses and stuff. Now this right here is the place that I'm heading to right now in Texas. So I'm gonna pick it from the destination that I am. This right here is like the map planning page. Now on this page you can do plans, and then you can add more addresses, or you can go to the maps and then you can see your destination and the route it takes to get to your destination. Here on the right hand side you'll see an arrow this arrow, if you touch the arrow, it'll give you the step-by-step instructions on streets and which way to turn. Okay, now you'll see a little truck right here. This truck right here is so you can change profiles. Say for an example that you did half of your route. Say that you on your planning, when you're planning your route, you planned a certain amount of time in a truck and the other time in a car. So what you do is, once you get to the destination that you drive in the truck and you drop the truck off, then you need the rest of the other destination to switch over to, like, maybe you're going to a hotel because you broke down or something. You push the truck icon and then you just switch it to auto, and then you push the arrow back, and then it'll give you unnamed road restriction on it. But that's when you change it, and it's basically just warning you of the different restrictions that you have for your profile, because it'll change after you change it. Let me change it back. Okay, at the top right hand side you'll see the 3 dots. Alright, after you hit the 3 dots, you have optimize stops, save trip, trip preview, load trip, clear trip, and cancel. Say for an example that I am trying to pre-plan my next trip. I'm trying to plan it all out and see how many miles it is and have it on my GPS ready after I drop this load off. So I hit the 3 dots, and first I'll save trip, and I'm gonna save it under test, and I'm gonna push save. Then I'm gonna show y'all where it goes. It goes into loaded trip, so you can load the trip under loaded trip. That's where the test is at, so I can go back to it at any time. Now I'm going to trip plan my next trip. I'm gonna say my next trip is going from Dallas, Texas to Reading, Pennsylvania. So I'm gonna go 3 dots. I'm gonna go clear trip. Then I'm gonna clear. Make sure you clear current location, because you're not getting it from the location that you're at. You're picking it up from the place that you dropped off from Dallas. So then I go add stop, address, Dallas, Texas, and I don't have a specific address, so I'm gonna use city center. Now it'll tell you the weather there at the top, 44 degrees there right now. It'll tell you Dallas, Texas, and the zip code and how many miles. But the miles is from where you at. It's not from the plan that you're tripping. The trip that you're planning. And then you push the plus. Then you go add stop again. Then address. Then you put in Reading. And it'll pop up right here, Pennsylvania. And I'm gonna go city center because I don't have the street address. And then once again I'm gonna push the plus sign. Now it tells you from Dallas, Texas city center to Reading, Pennsylvania city center. Now you push calculate. Now once you push calculate, it'll give you on the right hand side under the 3 dots, it'll take 22 hours and 50 minutes for me to go under the profile that I picked. It's 1,441 miles, and I'm going from I-40 to I-81. Traffic delay right now is 0 because it's the middle of the night that I'm doing this video. Now I can change it over to map on the top hand side, and it'll show me my route on my map. It'll give me 2 alternate routes after the route. The green is where you start, and the red is where you stop, where you're ending. Now, this is just my pre-plan. So I'm gonna go back to plan. Now, if you're deadheading, then you want the address of where you're deadheading at the top. So you go to add stop, and I have it in my recents. This is where I was dropping this load off at, right here. And then you hold it until it turned blue, and you put it at the very top, and then push calculate, and it'll give you the total miles from where you drop off your deadhead, from the drop off point to your pickup point to your drop off point. And I'm gonna show it to you on the map. And this is how it'll look on the map, and how many miles that it take to do it. And then after you do the pre-plan, you go back to plan. You take off where you drop your load off at. You take that off, and then you push the 3 dots, and then push save trip, and then you put a title. I'm gonna put test 2, and then push save. Now that's your pre-plan. So now you push the 3 dots, you push load trip, and then you go back to your original load that you're on, and it'll pop back up, and then you can continue doing your route, and you already have your pre-plan already planned and routed and ready for you after you drop your dispatch load off. Now I'm gonna hit the 3 dots, and I'm gonna show you how the map works. So I'm gonna use trip preview. Trip preview, it previews your turns, your exits, and all that stuff. So I'm gonna show it to you, and I'm gonna talk to you as she's talking to me. And this is how the map looks. And I keep my mouth on dark mode. Right here tells how many miles on the bottom left hand side, how many miles until my next turn. I got my destination here, and this is my dashboard destination. Let me see. Yeah, the distance. I'm sorry. So I got mine set for distance at the top, and then at the bottom I have it set for time remaining, how much time that I have remaining to get to my destination. So I have 764 miles left on the trip, and my ETT is, I got 11 hours and 49 minutes left to get to the receiver. In the middle right here, you can touch this arrow at the bottom middle, and it'll give you a step-by-step of directions to get to your destination.
Gotta keep winning, gotta keep winning, gotta keep winning, winning,